Uh-huh. All right. Can you guys see and hear me now? Thank you. I'm not sure what happened there. Of course, I tested all my equipment yesterday and it worked fine. Murphy's Law, right? Okay, let's start on foam rollers. And I was not planning on having my laptop, but my phone seems to be the culprit. So here we go. You're gonna start off with your foam roller on your mat. So just quickly to set what this is, it's gonna last about 50 minutes. We're gonna do some mobility work, which means loosening up and kind of breaking up some tissue adhesions, but also we're gonna do some stability work. So we're gonna do a lot of single leg stuff, some single arm stuff, and a lot of like trunk control and core control. So you're gonna start just by sitting with one cheek on your foam roller and just roll until you find a little spot that's kind of tight and hang out there for a couple of seconds. You'll notice I'm wearing shoes. I normally don't, but my garage is freaking freezing right now. So I'm gonna wear my shoes and socks to keep my feet warm. It's probably better to be barefoot or in socks though, because a lot of the stuff, as I said, is single leg. Good, and just give that a little rock back and forth and find one more sore, tender spot on those outer hips and hang out there and breathe. Good, and a quick little rock back and forth. And let's switch sides, other side. So you're rolling just to the outer part of your hip. Find something that's a little tender and just hang out there. Good, and rock back and forth. One more little tender spot, either higher or lower, and freeze. Good, quick rock back and forth. You're gonna come all the way down sitting on your mat now, and you're gonna bring your foam roller to your upper back. So right at the base of your shoulder blades, you're gonna lie down. Put your hands behind your head. And you're just gonna open up and let your back roll over the foam roller and then come right back up, kind of like a mini crunch, but you're not really using your abs much. Good, moving slowly and with control. And let's do one more of those. Good, now shift that foam roller about an inch higher so it's right in between your shoulder blades. And we're just gonna toggle side to side. Three, two, and one. Good, everybody sit up. Let's bring that foam roller down to your ankles. And we're gonna start with the foam roller just above our Achilles tendon, or well, above the back of our ankle here. And just rock it back and forth. Now, if that doesn't feel like much, you're gonna lift your hips up off the floor a little bit and press into the foam roller. And if that still doesn't feel like much, you're gonna put that other leg up on top. For some of you, that's gonna be way too spicy. So just go until it feels, you know, a little bit spicy, not like pain. Good, and set back down. You're gonna keep that foot right where it is, and you're just gonna toggle your foot back and forth. If you need more pressure, lift your hips and or put that other leg up on top. And down, we're gonna switch sides, same thing, rock it back and forth on that other leg. You can do it with hips up and or with that leg on top. Three, two, one, and toggle back and forth. Three, two, 1. Okay, this is like the embarrassing part of my presentation. We're gonna get really comfortable with our foam roller and really intimate. You're gonna take the edge of your foam roller and you're gonna put it right in between your pubic bone and your hip, right in that little soft tissue space, sort of your hip flexors. And you're gonna actually lie down on the mat with it right there. And kind of roll until you find where it's pretty uncomfortable, and you're just gonna hang out here for like 60 seconds. Good, so if you guys spend a lot of time sitting, whether that's working from home, driving, or even if you spend a ton of time on your bike, which most of us do, this release can really help with like lower back pain, tight hamstrings even. You think, why on earth are those connected? They're on the wrong side of your body, but it actually does help a lot. Good, and then just give it a quick little rock back and forward. And let's switch sides. Same thing, you're gonna put the edge of your foam roller right in that soft tissue, and you're gonna lie down on your mat and hang out there for 40 or 60 seconds. Good, you guys are also camera shy. I can barely see any of you. We'll just guess that you're all doing it right and can hear me fine. Hi, thanks for that. Good, give it a quick little rock back and forth now. All right, one more kind of embarrassing looking move, and that's gonna be, we're gonna get our inner thigh and groin area. This one's gonna be a little hard to see from this camera angle, but you're basically gonna be lying down on the mat with your foam roller halfway up your thigh on the inside. Other leg comes out straight, and you're gonna kind of roll over it. Maybe you can see that okay? Good, that should feel pretty uncomfortable. Most of us have really tight groins. Good, I can see a couple of you doing it. Just a couple of rocks. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Last embarrassing move with our foam roller. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, everybody coming up to kneeling. I hope you've got a nice squishy mat or soft carpet underneath you, because we're gonna spend some time on our knees now. If you don't, maybe roll up a towel or grab a pad or something if you've got like something like that. Just something squishy under your knees. Okay, we're gonna put one foot out in front of us in this nice half kneeling stance. Gonna grab onto your foam roller, set your shoulder blades back, and we're gonna press into our hips and raise the foam roller up above our heads. Really, I'm gonna scoot back so you can see my foam roller. Good. And then release and bring it back. Rocking forward and release and bring it back. Good, let's do 7 more of those. 7. You should feel this through your back hip flexor and up through the sides of your lats. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides, same exact thing. Coming up with your knees nice and in line. Foam roller forward, set those shoulder blades back. And as you press into your hip flexors, you're reaching up with your foam roller. 10 of them in all. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, let's come back to that first knee again, but this time instead of setting it in line, we're gonna rotate out to 6 o'clock. We're gonna get into our groin on both sides again. Foam roller comes to the same position, and we're actually going to twist in opposition, so the opposite direction that we're pressing, making sure that this knee is going straight over that toe as we twist. You should feel that in both upper, like inner thigh, groin areas, both sides. Let's do 6 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides, same thing. One knee down, other knee comes out to about 2 o'clock. Foam roller comes out front. Set those shoulders. And as we press, we're twisting in opposition. Five more. Looking good, guys and gals. 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's set down those foam rollers. You won't need them again. Get them out of the way. We need no equipment for this next bit. We're gonna stand up nice and tall, and let's get our shoulders released a little bit. So we're gonna do 5 big, huge sweeping arm circles backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now rotate around the other way, forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're gonna come down now to a lunge. This is called our runner's stretch, and place both hands on the mat. Can you see that high lunge? And we're gonna release one arm and twist into that opposite knee, and then come back down, both hands down, briefly go into a plank position and switch sides, step it forward and twist and rotate. We're gonna do 5 more of these on each side. So we're moving slowly and just pausing briefly at that plank position, lunging and twisting. Hands back down, plank, hold it for a breath, lunge and twist. Really trying to open up your chest as you twist. Back to plank position, opposite lunge and twist. Take your time here, back to plank and lunge. Twist, let your head follow those fingertips. Back down to plank, lunge, and twist. Plank, hold for a breath, switch it up. Twist. Back to that plank, switch, twist. Plank, and switch. Last one on each side, back to plank, lunge, and twist. Hands down, plank, lunge, and twist. Good. Next up, you're gonna need some mini bands. So does everybody have these? Let's see, we're mostly gonna want like a medium strength one. So I've got light, medium, and heavy. Does everybody have these little short mini bands? If you don't, you can do the moves just without bands. It just adds some nice resistance. Okay, so if you've got different resistance, everybody get their medium. Okay. So we're gonna start off by standing on our mini band with both feet. Right here. I'm gonna back up so you can see me. Good, everybody's set. And we're gonna do a little march where we're just raising our knee up to 90 degrees and then coming back down. What you do with your arms doesn't really matter. I like marching arms. Good, we're gonna rock back and forth and really find stability. So I can see a couple of you guys going super fast, slow it down. Find your balance at the top here before you bring it back down. Switch and switch. Switch. Good. Better pacing there. Keep it marching nice and slowly. That's it. We've got 4 more on each side. Last 3. 3. 2. 2. And 1 on each side. Good. Let's move that band just up to our ankles now. All right. You can put your hands on your hips or wherever you like for balance. And you're going to step just to one edge of your mat. You're going to point your toe forward and then drag it along the mat and make a semicircle. So tension on the band the whole way around, and then tension on the band the whole way forward. Good. We're going to do like 10 of those back and forth toe circles. And you're trying your best not to unweight onto your leg that's sweeping. You're trying to just skim and never set it down. So we're making that other leg work. Good. I want everybody to just pay attention to what are your abs doing? What is this space between your ribs and your hips? Should stay totally steady. Ribs down, hips tucked under a little bit as we work through these sweeps. Good, that standing leg's probably getting a little bit tired right now. Give me 2 more. And let's switch sides. Walking on over to the other half of your mat. Starting at the front and sweeping nice, the biggest circles you can draw. Keeping a super solid trunk. Good, and keeping that balance entirely on your standing leg. Don't unload. There you go, keep them sweeping. We've got 5 more. Last 2. And 1. Good, take that band off of your ankles and you're gonna hold it in your hands now. The same resistance is probably good, but if you find any of these moves are too difficult or too easy, you can change your resistance. I'm gonna make sure you can see upper body here. Okay, we're gonna do, if your hips are super on fire and you can't keep standing on one leg, then I'm gonna give you an alternative. You can do like a kickstand where you're just tapping that back foot down. But if you're still feeling pretty good, I want you to lift one leg and place it right under your knee. With your band, you're gonna hold it in your hand and with like 2 strong fists. And we're gonna be doing an archer pull as we're balancing on one leg. Okay, so balance on that leg and an archer pull back and release. Back and release. Good, 8 more. Whoops. If you lose your balance, just get it right back. 6 more. Elbows stay high. 5. 4, bring those shoulders away from your ears though, nice long necks. Last 2. And 1. Good, switch sides, same thing. Again, you've got the option of balancing on one leg, or you can kickstand where you're just tapping that toe down but not putting any weight on it. Ready for 10 archer pulls on this side. Go. 7 more. Good, nice long neck, relaxed upper neck. I want you to think about bringing your shoulder blades together in the back. That's where the work should come from. Looking wonderful. 3, 2, and 1. Good, release that. We're gonna put the band aside for a little bit, although we will need it again. We're gonna keep working our hips. So my goal is by the end of this, your hips should be on fire. I hope that we'll succeed. Okay, we've got 2 options here again. We've got a split stance. You're gonna put your hands on your hips and you're gonna rotate your hips outward and then rotate them back all the way past forward, like all the way into that other leg, okay? If that feels too easy, which it probably does for most of you, we're gonna advance this to what's called the tippy twist. If anybody's read Jay Deshari's books, he is amazing with runners and he's a PT out of here in Bend, Oregon. So the tippy twist means you're gonna tip over, float that leg back, you're gonna open up your hips, then you're gonna close them again, all balancing on one leg, and stand up without setting that foot down. Good, we've got 8 more. So you're either trying out this crazy one, or you're standing with kickstand legs. If anybody's done a ton of single leg work, the way to progress this even harder is to stand on a wobble board or a squishy foam mat. That's the next level. Good. Tipping forward, opening up those hips, closing them again, and back to standing. 3 more. Open, close, stand up, float it back, open, close, and back up. Last one. Tip, open, close, and relax. Shake out those legs. That one's pretty burny. Yeah. Good, switching sides. So again, you've got the option of the kickstand and you're just twisting into and out of that standing leg. Or we're gonna advance it to this tippy twist. Tipping forward, opening up, closing, and standing up. Don't set that leg down. Tipping, opening, close, and back up. Good, some of you guys have great balance. Open, close, keep it going. Take your time at each of these positions. Wonderful. I've lost count, but let's do 3 more. Open, close, stand it up, tip, open, close, stand up. Last one, tip it over, open, close, stand up. Good, shake that out. So your standing leg should be on fire. That lower leg should be really working. If it's not, next time do it on a wobble board. All right, we're gonna do just 20 super loose hops. And that's just to kind of get ourselves back feeling normal. Good, just let those shoulders kind of drop. Arms are all wiggly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Time to get our legs working. So this is the part that I said, if you did that 3 and 20 test this morning and your legs are shot, you're gonna just wanna do small movements rather than the full deep lunges and squats that we have coming up next. All right, first up, we're gonna do a frog squat. So feet are gonna be super wide, toes can be angled just a little bit out, and you're going to squat nice and deep, and with really good posture, you're gonna tap down near or all the way down to the mat, and then reach back up nice and straight. I don't wanna see any rounded shoulders. Squatting down and tapping, reaching up straight, down, up. Let's do 8 more. Tap it down, reaching up, feeling those glutes, digging into our heels as we press up. Down, tap, up and reach. Down and tap, up and reach. Down and tap. Last 3, down and tap, up and reach. Down and tap, up and reach. And last one. Good. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. If you haven't been drinking yet, have a sip. Okay, next up, we've got some side lunges and some speed skaters. So we're going to start with the speed skaters. You got a couple of options here. We're going to take a big wide stance on our mat. You can either come down and bend one knee and then bend the other knee and come up in between. That's our easiest version. So if your legs are fried, do this. If you're feeling a little bit stronger, you're going to stay low and just shift side to side. And if you're feeling really good and peppy, we're going to make this plyometric. You're going to step and bring that other leg behind you, jump to the side of your mat, back and forth. So I'm going to count 20 of those plyometric ones. You do as many of your version as you can get done in those. 19, 18, 17, 16, 13, 12, 11, 10, 7, 5, 3, and you're done. Good. We're going to grab a weight. So something between, I'd say 6 and 10 pounds. Maybe if you're super strong and have done a ton of overhead work, you can get something that's even 12. I wouldn't go any higher. And if you have nothing, grab your water bottle. That's going to work just fine. Good. Keeping that nice wide stance on our mat. You're going to reach with your weight up high, kind of like a star position, but just with one leg or one arm. And now we're going to bend into that opposite knee and twist our upper body until we reach our toe. Then we're going to straighten everything back out and stand up nice and tall. Good, reaching down, twisting. We're staying on the same leg. We're going to fire up that leg. Good, reaching and twisting, standing it back up. Good, I don't want to see any rounded shoulders. Beautiful posture, a nice neutral spines the whole time. We've got 10 more on this side. 10. That's it, don't rush it. Eight more. And stretch. Keep it moving with control. Last 4. I think you've all gotten less camera shy. I can see everybody almost. I love it. Good, let's switch sides. Other side, same thing. You can shake out your legs if you need to. Same thing, you're gonna start with that nice star position with one arm up. You're gonna twist with really good posture and reach that opposite toe. Then come back up. Good, when you stand up nice and tall, where are your ribs? Keep them from popping up. We're doing 15 total, so I think we've got about 12 more. Good, down for 10. And up. 9. 8. Feeling those shoulder blades, the backs of those shoulder blades. 6 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, we got a couple more leg moves still to come, so you guys can modify these as you need to, based on how you're feeling. No need to make yourself sore the first day of camp. So now we've got what's called a transverse lunge. It's not a side lunge, it's not a back lunge, it's kind of a diagonal and twist. Okay, so let me show you just the lunge part. You're gonna stand at one end of your mat. You're gonna twist and open your hips and lunge to that opposite side, okay? And same thing, we're gonna reach down, reach that toe, but then we're just gonna come back up to our shoulder with our weight. No need to go overhead. All right, so twisting and rotating down to that lunge and back up to facing away. Good. You almost wanna think about your shoulders turning 180 degrees during this move. That's it, still good posture. Don't let me see those rounded backs. Good, and if your legs are on fire, just do a little one. You can just do a little knee bend and kind of a row. That's it, last 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Shuffle on over to the other side of your mat. Same thing, we're starting at the front, switch your weight to the opposite hand. We're gonna twist our bodies and step and lunge, reach down to that toe and bring it back forward. Good, so you see how this is different than that last move, right? We're completely twisting our upper body. It might seem similar with our legs, but we're totally twisting. That's it. 10 more. Reach and touch. Keep it going, guys. Really maximizing that twist with your upper body. 3, 2, and last one. Good. Last thing we're gonna need the weight for, is that right? Well, we're gonna need 2 weights for the next thing, but just wait. This is the last time we're using this single weight. So this one is going to be an overhead hold. We're gonna split squat. So legs far apart, up on your toes for the back leg. You're gonna press and hold your weight overhead. And you're simply dropping your upper body and your knee down to tap the mat. Okay, if that's too deep, you're just doing little ones, okay? Let's do 12 of those, arms up, tap it down. 11, 10, keep that bicep right by your ear. 9, 8, good, I don't want any shifting of your body forward or backward, it's dropping straight down. 6, 5, where are those ribs? Bring them down. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good, switch sides, same thing with the other side. Gonna reach that weight up nice and tall. Take a big step back and drop your body down. Knee touches the mat. Good, let's do 12, 11, 10. Ribs down, guys. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, shake that out. We have one more leg move. Well, one more quad heavy move. Okay, for this last one, if you have a heavier set of weights, you want something that's gonna be a challenging bicep curl for you to get to 20 reps, okay? So we're gonna be bicep curling at the same time that we're curtsy lunging. If you don't have different weights, just use 2 water bottles or the same thing you had. All right, I'm gonna get rid of my mat because I'll trip all over it. So for the curtsy lunge, we're gonna step side to side. We're gonna cross one leg over the back and tip down. As we stand up, we're doing a bicep curl. Then we switch the other way. Tap down that back knee, bicep curl up. Let's do 20 of them. 20, up, 19, up, down, up. Good, add a little bit of single leg work if you wanna float up that knee. Right here, float up that knee. Balance for your bicep curl. Keep it moving. Good, posture is fantastic. We're not tipping forward at the hips. That's it. Looking good. Control is way more important than speed here. Last 8. Five, 4. Keep those hips level. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Drop those weights. We're gonna come back to our mini band. And I'd say you're gonna need a medium or a heavy. So if you've done a lot of glute med sort of hip work, you probably can manage a heavy. If you're not sure, make it lighter. I'd rather see you move well than lift heavy. That's not the point of this. So I'm gonna grab a mini band that's medium. Okay, does everybody have something they can kind of rest on briefly, just like a wall or your bike on a trainer or a couch or a chair back, just for this first move? I'll show you what it is, then I'll give you time to get there. Wrapping that mini band around your ankles. You're gonna find something stable because most of us will need it. Good, and we're gonna do a kick back and diagonally. So it's kind of a weird angle for me to show, but it's not a kick out to the side and it's not a kick straight back. It's out and at an angle. So if you're standing on a clock, you're kicking to like, well, depending on what leg you're on, 5 o'clock, or what would this be, 7 o'clock. Okay, so find a good angle, and instead of just lifting with control, we're actually gonna kick and try to really use our butt for a little bit of power. So we're kicking for 15 of these. Ready? Let's go. Good, upper body is not moving at all. Back is not arching. Seven more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides, exactly the same thing. You got 15 to 20 on the other side. You can get going a little early if you're eager. Everybody with me? 15, 14, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Keep that band on your ankles and come on back to your mat. We're going to do a hamstring walkout with our band. And I'll show you what that looks like. This one takes time, but it's really worth it for building some of that posterior strength, the backs of our legs and our booties, and a little bit lower back. Let's move that band up actually, just under your knees, please. Right here. Okay, we're going to be sitting down on our mat. Just watch the first one because people do this wrong all the time. Just watch the first one. You're going to be laying down on your mat. You're going to come into a very gentle hip bridge. And then with your heels, you're going to slowly walk out to the end of the mat. And when you get there, you're going to hold for like 3 seconds before you drop your hips down and walk back in to do your next one. Okay, so this is eccentric strength of our hamstrings, and it is so beneficial. We're just doing 8 of these because they take forever. Lying down, lifting your hips up, walking out on your heels until they're almost straight. Hips are still up, hips are still up. Hold it there and breathe, and drop down. Walk your feet back in. Okay, same thing here. Do not let your ribs float up. If you need to put your hands to your side, that works. Lift up your hips, heel walk out to the end of the mat. Hold it out there for a breath or two. And drop down. Bring those heels back up. Good, lifting up your hips, walking out with your heels. Little tiny walks. Hold it out there. And drop down. Walk your feet back in, lifting up. Heel walk out. Now I want you to imagine if you had a glass of water balanced on your belly, would you be spilling it? Because I don't want you to spill it. Lift it, put it down, knees back in. Lifting up, pretending like we've got that balanced water as we're walking our heels out. Can you keep it level? And drop, heels in. Lift it up, walking out. Good, keep those hips where they are. 3, 2, 1, drop them down. Walk your heels back in. Lifting up, last 2. Heels walk out. Good, hold in this extended position. And drop. Walk your heels in, last one. We're gonna do an extra hold at the end here, so walk those heels out. We're gonna hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Okay, now we're gonna switch bands to a light band. Unless if you're like a super strong person who does a ton of strength work, you can keep your mini band, but I'm gonna use my lighter one. I'll show you the move. It's a side plank with a little row, but it's more about stability than strength. So I'm gonna use my lightest band, hold it really strong with both hands. Come on down to my elbows. Good, let's make sure we set up properly for this side plank. I don't want your hips back. I want everything in a nice straight line, like you're standing up perfectly tall. Here are your options. You can be up on both feet are stacked one on top of the other and up on your elbow. Or if that's too hard, you can put one foot in front of the other so you have a little more stability in your lower body. Or you can drop that lower leg if you're really struggling. All right, let's do 10 little pulls while we're in our side plank. And if you need it harder, lift that upper leg. Go ahead. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Drop down, switch sides. Most people really hate side planks, but we really need to do them, especially when you've got a little bit of movement to control for. Ready to go. We're doing 10 on this side, lifting up, and a quick little row. 4, 5, moving slowly, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Drop it down. Good, ready to get our abs working a little bit here for our last section. I'm gonna switch back to my mini band for this last banded move. It is a V-sit with a one-armed row, okay? So you probably want something a little bit heavier here, okay? Everybody switching bands? Good, so we're gonna balance on our butt. Legs are gonna float up to 90 degrees. One hand's doing nothing. You can just use it for balance out to the side or whatever. The other hand is holding strong with your band that's looped around your foot, and you're rowing back. Good, nice tall posture, shoulders back. And we're gonna do 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, keep it balanced. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides, loop it around your other foot. Get a nice strong grip on that handle. If you find this too hard, you can put one foot down, like if your abs are done. I hope they're not, because we still have more ab work for the last couple of moves. All right, we're coming back for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Elbows in, guys, elbows in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that. Get rid of your bands. We don't need any equipment for our last few things. All right, next up we've got a bear crawl, but it may be different than you've done if you've done it like CrossFit or something. What I'm talking about is your knees are gonna hover. So you're gonna come onto all fours. Your knees are gonna hover just up off the mat, and you're gonna walk forward with your knees super low but not touching. And then we're gonna walk backwards. So we're gonna be traveling up and back on our mat. We're gonna do 4 up and backs on our mat, okay? So come back to the back of your mat, onto all fours. Set those nice shoulders in position, nice strong back. Good, tighten your belly button and tuck your hips under, ribs stay down, knees float up. Let's walk it forward very slowly. Good, same thing. If you had a water glass balanced on your back, would it be moving? If it was balanced on your hips, I hope not. That's the goal. We're rock solid with our core. All the way back to the back, bring it forward again. If you go too fast, you just get to do extra reps. Everybody keeps knees up until I drop them. That's it, at the front, work it backwards. 2 more times. Bring it forward. Looking great, guys. Backwards. And last time forward. Good, bring it backwards. Keep those knees. Last 3, 2, 1, drop them down. Good, show of hands, who loves that move? I do. I love that move. I love it so much that we're going to turn it 90 degrees and we're going to do bear crawl sideways. All right, so it looks like this. A little bit different with your hands. You're going to come back to that all fours position. You're going to hover your knees up. And as we step our foot back, apart, you're going to put our hands together. And our feet come together as our hands come apart. Okay, so we're going to start at the end of our mat. We're going to work all the way down and back 4 times. Same thing, hips don't rock back and forth. They stay super solid. Ready? On all fours. Hover those knees up and marching sideways. Great. Feet come apart as hands come together. Good news, this is the last really hard thing we're doing, guys. So if you're struggling, just stay with me. We've got one more easy thing to finish up. Good, bring it back. Working our way up and back. Last time. Who's still with me? Everybody, stay with me. Three, two, one, knees down. Nice work on that. Last thing we're going to do is up against a wall. And we're going to do something called a hip drop. It's really good for hip mobility and sort of that corset that wraps around those transverse abdominals. You're going to find a wall, tip your feet out to the side. So see how I'm angled here? You can put that top hand on your hip if you like. You're going to drop down that hip and then raise it back up. Drop it down and raise it up. Okay, everybody find a wall. We're going to do 12 of those and then switch sides and then we're all finished. Good, ready to drop and up. I want to see how big of a motion can you do with those hips? How far can you drop them down? And how high can you raise them? While keeping your hips from dropping backwards. Everything's in a nice straight line, like you're in between 2 skinny walls and just sliding your hips. Last 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. $15 hip drops, ready, go. Halfway. Last 3, 2, and 1. All right, that's everybody done. Okay, so you might be wondering, I'm sure most of you guys already do some amount of strength and mobility work in your training. I'm hoping, like I know the QT2 coaches and Outrival coaches put this into your programs. And I also know that athletes love to skip their prehab and their mobility, but it makes such a big difference. So I hope you enjoyed doing that here today. And if you have any questions, I do have almost that exact routine I recorded yesterday on my YouTube channel. So if you sort of want to go back and revisit a couple of those things, if you loved them, you can check it out there. It's just Coach Mary Kelley on YouTube.
Mary, that was awesome. We need that on a regular basis.
I can't hear you, Jackie.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
There we go.
I said that was awesome. There were some moves I'd never seen before.
Good.
I love that.
I try.
Yeah,
Good,
we need
thank
that.
you.
We need you to do that for us more often.
Okay.
Yeah, that was great. I loved it. I'm
Thank
used to
you.
like going to the gym and
Thanks,
lifting, but that, like those little body movements, the C things, my legs were burning. To the balancing with the drawing the C's. Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much. All right, I think
you're welcome, guys. Thank you.
yeah, Amy's up next, I believe. So I think we're gonna grab a quick lunch and then come back, checking exactly here.